Hi guys, here is another cool new feature that was introduced into Java 16, which is records in Java. So before Java 16, we used to use POJOs, where we created the POJO classes and we created the properties. We generated the getters, setters, the constructors, the toString equals, and the hashCode method had to be generated by us. And this was all that boilerplate code that has to be written with a class. Whereas with the introduction to Java 16, what we now have is the records, and this is how we create a record, which is very simple and easy to understand, where you just define the properties and you leave it as it is. So that avoids a lot of boilerplate code for you. Now the same thing, let us compare it here. This is about the player object and this is about the player record. Both gives me the same result, avoiding where record avoids a lot of boilerplate code to me. And both obviously are not same. Records, they do differ from the pojos, because in pojos what we have is we can this is mutable Java objects, where we can do a player dot set name and we can change the name. The same thing cannot be done with the record. The reason for that is records are immutable. All the fields created inside the records cannot be changed, because they are all final by default. So you can see that I can change it to Kohli, whereas if I try to change the same in the player R, I will not be able to do that, because there is no setter generated for records. And also when it comes to the getter methods inside the pojos, we get the getters like player dot get name, whereas the getters inside here in the record are created with the property name itself. It is something like player r dot name. So that way these things are created. So hopefully you have now understood the concept of the record versus the pojos. When it comes to the records, records are immutable by design, fields are final, and no setters are generated. You cannot change the values after creation. If you want to change it, you create a new record altogether. Then the next thing is Java generates the constructor for your record. It generates the getter named after the field, and also generates the equals, hashcode, and toString method. If you have learned something new, subscribe to my channel for more such content.